Johnny Murray here, and welcome to another video. Today, we're going to be taking a look at 5 upcoming anticipated sequels for video games. That's right, I started with 5 upcoming indie games, and then I went to 5 new IPs, and I explained that this is going to be a repeated cycle, where we're going to take a look at 5 indies, 5 new IPs, and then 5 sequels, which is what this video is today, and then we're going to repeat the process. That way we could just shed a light on some games in 3 different categories that either A, you've forgotten about, or B, you don't know about. Or you just want some more details, or just want to hear my opinions on some of these games. But nonetheless, here we are, 5 upcoming anticipated sequels. I have 5 that I am personally very, very excited for, and I think could end up being a hit. So let's talk about 5 upcoming sequels. If you guys love video games, doesn't matter what you love, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, PC, third party, indie, VR, whatever it is, consider subscribing, sharing with your friends. I really do appreciate any support you guys give me, especially the support on this video right here. But without further ado, let's get talking about 5 upcoming anticipated sequels. The first one, we're just going to start with one that was recently announced, and one that is currently a hot talking point just because of either negative things or positive things, and that is Borderlands 4. Now, the Borderlands movie did unfortunately just come out, and I say unfortunate because if you've been living under a rock, this movie is like the biggest video game adaptation flop of all time. We're not even going to go into that, but nonetheless, that doesn't detract from what the video games have been able to do. Borderlands is a beloved franchise. There's a lot of different opinions on which one's the best, 1, 2, or 3. I personally love 2 the most. I think 2 is the most beloved, but nonetheless, all of them are good in their own ways. And Borderlands is such a unique franchise in which I don't feel like any game has really been able to replicate what Borderlands is. It kind of did start the whole looter genre, and I don't feel like anything except Destiny has really been able to replicate that success. Borderlands is so unique with its art style, with its cel-shadedness, as well as its comedy and its characters. You know, Borderlands is such a unique franchise, and while 3 didn't live up to a lot of people's expectations, I do feel like 4 will, because I do feel like they're taking a different approach with this. Just with the opening trailer for Borderlands 4, the announcement trailer, you can already see some difference. It seems like they're taking a more serious approach, and it seems like they might be getting rid of that cel-shaded look, which could end up backfiring, but it could actually be a big positive as well. I think Borderlands is so fun with that looter combat that I'm just super excited to jump back into the world of Pandora, or wherever this may take place. It looked like we're doing some weird reality stuff with this game. But nonetheless, I think Borderlands 4 is exciting, and I am all for it. Releasing in 2025, just another game to add to the absolute goated looking year we have for 2025. Speaking of 2025, a big game coming out then is made by Capcom, my goats, and that is Monster Hunter Wilds. Monster Hunter World took the world, no pun intended, by storm, because it is so good. It is so addicting. It is so just, the combat and the gameplay and the world building and the exploration is so in depth that people just fell in love with it, and I can't blame them. I personally did really enjoy Monster Hunter World. I'm not the biggest Monster Hunter fan in the world. I'm sorry to keep saying that. It's not pun intended, I swear. But Monster Hunter is a series that is special. Because this is one of Capcom's biggest and most successful IPs, as well as there's so many spin-offs and so many different things you can do with the IP. I do feel like Monster Hunter Wilds looks like it's going to be taking it to the next level with a lot of its enemy variety, exploration, settings, and just gameplay. It looks like, of course, it's going to get that visual enhancement, it's going to get that gameplay enhancement, it's going to get all the enhancements you want out of a sequel. And I think that's what's so exciting about sequels, is that it takes something you might love or like, and it has that possibility to make it something you either love or adore. It has that opportunity to upgrade and enhance and just improve on everything previous games have set up. And I think Monster Hunter Wilds is going to be a perfect definition of that, of let's take what people love, improve on everything to maybe make something people absolutely adore. And I'm super duper excited for Monster Hunter Wilds, not just because it's Capcom, but because I think the game looks great. Everything we've seen seems like it's hitting all the right notes. Seems like it's what we want out of a sequel for Monster Hunter Worlds. And I'm excited for Monster Hunter Wilds to release in 2025 once again. Death Stranding 2, made by, in my opinion, the GOAT of video game creators himself, Hideo Kojima, the creator behind Metal Gear franchise, as well as Death Stranding 1. And Death Stranding 2 on the beach looks to be the next evolution, the next benchmark for what this franchise could be and what this series could be and what this story can be. Because when you're going into a Hideo Kojima game, you know you're going to get the most complex advance out of this planet story that you could possibly imagine. And that's exactly what Death Stranding 1 was. Death Stranding 1 is so unique and so different that even if you didn't like the gameplay of the first one, a lot of people had complaints that it's a walking simulator or it's too slow. No matter if you were on that board, the story and concept is just something unlike anyone has ever seen. And he just brought that to life on such a different level. And what we can get out of a sequel is, let's take the things people didn't like, being the gameplay, being some of the pacing and progression in the game, and let's make that story that everyone loved, and let's up all of that by 2. Let's up all of that by 3, by 4, by 5. That trailer that they showed at the beginning of this year, in the state of play, they spent like a good 5, maybe even more than that, minutes just focusing on what Death Stranding was, and seeing some of those shots, seeing the giant moon, seeing the water rushing in, having that scene with Troy Baker just absolute killing it in the acting department. Oh man, it is just shaping up to be something incredible. I'm so excited for this game. I personally am a huge fan of Death Stranding 1. I did not have the biggest issue with the gameplay. I do feel like at times it was a walking simulator, but I have faith in Hideo Kojima, and I just know the story and the concept that Death Stranding is, and I just can't help but be excited for where we're going with this series and with this game. I'm so excited for Death Stranding 2 on the beach, currently scheduled for 2025. But let's go ahead and talk about 2 games that are releasing this year in terms of sequels. And one of these I think is an absolute sleeper pick, and I want this game to succeed so bad, and that is Stalker 2. Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl is a Ukrainian-developed game, which unfortunately they have been under certain circumstances that have made the game be delayed multiple times and have had development struggles. Now, our heart goes out to them, and we understand the situation that they are currently in. But nonetheless, we have been waiting a long time for this game, and every time we see this game, it looks spectacular. This looks like a first-person shooter that is pushing the benchmark, pushing the envelope. This looks like a first-person shooter I'm going to be glued to due to the amazing atmospheres and different settings and different environments we're going to be exploring. This looks like a first-person shooter that is going to be fun, engaging, and complex. And that is what I want out of this game. This game looks like it's just going to be such a unique and different experience in the first-person shooter genre. I do think this is a sleeper pick for a Game of the Year contender. I do feel like this is a sleeper pick for Xbox. I feel like this is going to be a big hit. It is releasing on Xbox Game Pass day 1. It is that Xbox exclusive, but it is also going to be on PC. And Stalker is it's like a cult classic. It's a classic that many people love, and due to the situation with Stalker, it has garnered and gained so much attention and anticipation and hype surrounding it that I do feel like this is going to take the series and the franchise to a whole nother level that even the developers didn't know what was possible. And that is what I'm so excited for. I really do think Stalker is going to feel polished, it is going to feel fully developed, and I feel like it is going to be an experience worthwhile and memorable, and that's what you want out of a sequel. And I do feel like this could make it a mainstay in the first-person genre department. But let's go ahead and talk about my current favorite or most anticipated upcoming sequel this year, and that is Dragon Age: The Veilguard. People have been waiting forever for a new Dragon Age. People have been waiting forever for a new BioWare game, and here it is. We're getting both. BioWare is finally returning. BioWare is the studio that has brought you the likes of Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, Mass Effect, and the Dragon Age games, as well as other things, and we're not going to mention some of them like Anthem, but nonetheless, BioWare is one of the most decorated, renowned, is that even a word? Highly regarded studios in the industry, even though some of their recent titles haven't necessarily lived up to expectations. But Dragon Age is returning with the Veilguard, and me personally, I understand there are some critiques about the art style and the just overall vibe of the game, but for me, This game looks magnificent. It looks like it is going to be so exciting. I am all for this game. This is currently one of my most anticipated games, period, just because of how good I think the game looks. I'm not a big Dragon Age fan. I know close to nothing about Dragon Age. I've played a little bit of Inquisition, and I liked it, but there is nothing with this game that is by default makes me excited. I'm genuinely just excited because of how great I think it looks. The trailers they've shown have spoke to me. They have hit me the right way. I think some of the dialogue choices that have been set up is great. I think the combat looks fun, exciting, and great. I think the characters look really cool, and I'm very interested in a lot of them. I think the visuals, they strike me the right way. I do not have an issue with them. I think this game is going to be special. I do think this game is going to hit everything that needs to be. I do think this is going to be BioWare return to form. At least I hope so. And I do feel like this will be a Game of the Year contender as well. This is releasing October 31st. By the way, Stalker 2 is releasing November. I don't know the exact date off the top of my head, but Dragon Age is releasing October 31st. And I'm so excited for what Dragon Age is going to bring to the table. And just for BioWare to get an attempt at a redemption arc, to redeem themselves from some of their past mistakes. And that's what we're looking for. Is BioWare going to be able to deliver an experience that we're used to, or is it going to be another mixed bag? We'll just have to wait and see, but I do think this game looks super duper exciting, and I am all for this game. But there are my 5 sequels that I'm going to talk about today. Super anticipated, super just interesting looking. I do feel like all 5 of these sequels have potential to be a success and make all these franchises stand out even more than they already do. But let me know in the comments, what are your most anticipated games out of these 5? What are some games that you would like to see me cover next time? What are some games that I missed that I might not know about? Let me know in the comment section down below. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Johnny Moore out. Peace.